Derek Chauvin is appealing his murder conviction in the killing of George Floyd. The former Minneapolis cop says jurors were intimidated by protests and prejudiced by heavy pretrial publicity. In a court filing today, Chauvin asked the Minnesota Court of Appeals to reverse his conviction and demand a new trial in a new venue or order a resentencing. Chauvin was sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison and found guilty of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. Lawyers for accused New York City subway shooter Frank James say the FBI may have violated his constitutional rights when agents took a DNA sample without first informing them. The FBI had a warrant, but James's lawyers say they weren't notified ahead of time about the sampling, so they weren't present when it occurred. Authorities had already taken one sample the day he was arrested, and this one took place 13 days after he'd been booked. Today, President Biden asked Congress to provide $33 billion for military, economic, and humanitarian aid to Ukraine. The new request includes $5 billion in so-called drawdown authority, which allows the president to provide weapons from existing U.S. military stockpiles. Mr. Biden's proposal would also give the U.S. new authority.
Allies, our EU partners, they're going to pay their fair share of the cost as well, but we have to do this.
Mr. Biden's proposal would also give the U.S. new authority to seize and sell the assets of wealthy Russians, allowing the government to use the proceeds to aid Ukraine. Menthol cigarettes and cigars could soon be products of the past if the Food and Drug Administration finalizes two proposed bans. The rules would prohibit tobacco manufacturers and retailers from making, distributing, and selling cigarettes and cigars containing menthol flavor. It claims these products can make smoking harder to quit, especially among young people, and are disproportionately used by Black Americans and other minority groups. Global news 24 hours a day, on air and on Bloomberg Quicktake, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in over 120 countries. I'm Mark Crumpton. This is Bloomberg.